next session has come round and I'm down on my local syndicate again. Got a load of boiling. I'm just going to do some little tight bits of bait, not much at all. And as I get a fish, add some more. I've got two spots in mind. I've got a tree line over to my right, which I've caught from before, and it's a definite hot spot. Now I've got a mussel bed to my left, and it's a brilliant spot, but you just got to be careful with the mussels so you don't cut your line. So I'll be fishing tight lines to lead, tight clutches, low rods, so and drop off leads so the fish comes up straight away. But I can see fish movement out there already. I'm not sure if they are carp. They're a decent size. So I'm just going to get some boilers out there, flick 2 rods out on PVA bags, and sit back and wait. Right, here's the finished rig. Just a dumbbell wafter as a hook bait, the Northern Special bait, and like I said today, baiting is just going to be little patches of bait, one over there on my left and one over here on my right. And because I've got a tree line, the bait is going to go up the tree line and down, so they're picking and moving. Still only about probably 35 baits till I catch fish, then more, and obviously as the session progresses, more and more bait will go in, which will keep the fish there. So just going to put these out now and wait for a little bit. Right, this is the rig that is going out onto the mussel bed spot. It's a stiff end rig, strong braid because of the if the mussels do move, then there is a chance it could cut it. And then it's just a Northern Special pop-up hook bait and a bit of foam. Obviously it will keep it suspended off the bottom, and then it will lay nice and flat. And again, 2.5 ounce lead. I think this is only a size 8 hook, so it should bring it home quite nicely. Right, the rod on the tree line's just gone, and as you can see, it's a very angry little common. It's gone 11 pound 6, and it's the first fish of the trip. About 40 minutes into it. I've had lots of liners on my left hand rod. Then saw a fish show, so I've just put a single on it. But this one over there on the bait that was on the 10mm by 14mm wafter on the D rig, and absolutely steamed off. I tried to get the run on camera, but it was all too sudden, so I managed to get the fight in and bag this one. Come on. Just thought I'd talk you through a rig that's very similar to the one that I just caught on. It's back out there now, fishing along that tree line. This is just a simple mono rig. It's flat out there. There's no debris on the bottom, so it won't be sticking up. And the difference is this one is a claw rig with a hook bead on it, just there, with micro rig ring and a bit of shrink tube to help kick the hook over, whereas the other one is a D rig, which works in exactly the same way, and it's just got a 10mm by 14mm NS1 bafta on it, so that will lay flat on the bottom like that, and it will be sitting up like that, and it will be perfect. It will take away the weight of the hook and it will just fly up into the mouth. That one was absolutely nailed. To that I just add a little tiny mesh bag of 3 and 4mm pellet, halibut pellet, so nice and oily, and that can be slung out to either on a baited spot, or it'll work perfectly fine on showing fish, and it will get you one very quickly. Right, might look a bit out of breath and a bit tired. That's just because I've come from the far side now onto this bank, and I come round earlier and had a look along the tree line, walked along the tree line, and I must have spooked 7 or 8 fish as I was walking in there. So instead of going up to the bank, I just turned around and I thought that's enough for me to be able to move. So instead of having one rod over it now, I'm round here setting everything up, and I've got 2 rods out and I've got a zig and the bottom bait on now because the fish are near the surface, so I want both the options covered, and hopefully I'll get one from here. It's looking good. Right, rod's been out about 2 minutes after I've moved round to the far side. I knew I saw a fish here, and it's definitely worked. There it is, 14 pound 6 ounce, and stunning fish. Mouth's perfect, which is always a pleasure to catch them, and done on the triple X boilie with a fake bit of maize. Brilliant. Well, just had a right ordeal. Just doing some pictures of my rods and reels and that, and then rod just burst into life, absolutely tore a line, and went straight up the tree line. So put the camera on the floor, grabbed it, played it for about 2 seconds. It went straight into a load of line hanging off one of the trees, and I managed to get it moving a little bit. Then it hit another one and just come off. So I've calmed myself down a little bit and went round there with a bit of rope, managed to bend the tree back, and got the twig that it was on, and got my rig back. And I've also gained 5 rigs and 4 lead cores on here. That's just one twig. Well, you can see it's all just one big bunch just here. So there is victory in what can quite possibly be the most annoying thing when fishing. Felt like a decent fish as well. But what can you do? Right, quick morning update. It's about 7:15 and had a really eventful night. I had runs on both rods. I had 2 fish. I had a 12 pound 7 and a fish about 9 pound. I couldn't picture the 9 pounder because it was raining, and I can't bring the camera out in the rain, unfortunately. But it was a nice fish, nice little mirror. And then I lost one yesterday in the lines just before dark, and I lost one this morning at about 4:30. It absolutely steamed off, and I have no idea what was wrong. I'm just halfway in, just come out. Hook sharp. Lead was still on, which it could have been swinging that about, which made it come off, but I don't know. So I've put bait in. I was putting bait in during the night after each fish, and every time I put bait in, a couple of hours later I'd have a bite. So there's lots of fish there, and I keep seeing swirls over there, so they're just under the surface. It warms up a bit today. I might even put some biscuits out. So have to see what else we get. Right, just thought I'd show you the bottom bait rig that I've been catching on. I think I've had 3 fish on this now, and lost one on it. This is it. It's starting at the hook bait end. It's just a XXX Odyssey boilie. That's in 14mm or 15mm, and that's topped off with fake bit of maize, and it's bigger than corn so that it sits upright. A lot of the time corn can just lay on the side, and you want it to be sitting upright like that as a visual aid, and it will sit on top of the hook and help mask it. Size 6 wide gape. I used the Jag hook sharpening tool on all my hooks before I cast them out. You don't want to be risking a blunt hook, especially when I'm fishing on gravel out there. It has to be perfect, and it's got a little bit of silicone tubing on the shank of the hook to obviously make it turn, and that turns every single time. No need to put any tubing on the eye of the hook. It's absolutely fine how it is. And I think that's £25 black silt from Suffolk, and it just suits everything. I can use it on pop-ups, you can use it on bottom baits, and I don't change the colour at all, just leave it as black. And I'm fishing on gravel now and it's catching. I'd put this in silt, I'd put this in weed, all sorts. All you do is just extend and shorten the rig depending on what bottom you're on, and it's the most simple rig you can tie, no difficult bit on it at all, and it catches. Well, it's 11:15, and just had another bit of action. Left hand rod has just screamed off about 2 minutes after I moved my right hand one. They're probably about 2 rod lengths apart up the tree line, and I moved the far one and put it out into open water, and it was a couple of minutes, and then the left hand one went. So I think that little bit of pressure coming off the tree line definitely helped it. So I've put some more boilies out. Unfortunately lost the fish. Another hook pull. I have no idea what's happening. Hooks are sharp. The only thing I can think of is it might be because I'm using lighter leads. I usually use 3.5s minimum for all my fishing, but the fish were there and I didn't want to spook them by casting a big lead out. So I've switched to a 3.5 now. Have to see what the next fish does. But it's getting annoying. I've had 4 fish now for 7 runs, which is not a very good average, but one of them was the line in the tree, which wasn't any fault of my own, so just have to keep plugging away. Right, come to the end of this session. It's been a good one for the runs, but bad for landing fish. I've had 7 runs and only landed 4. All of them were definite fish on. 2 of them I played almost all the way in before the hook pulled, and the other one got caught up in the line in the tree. But no, the fish that I caught were really nice. 2 recaptures and 2 fish that I haven't had before. All mid doubles. Didn't get into any of the 20s this time, but they're definitely in here. Any one of the fish that I lost could have been a bigger one. But no, most of them were on the XXX bottom bait. I think I had 2 on the Northern Special wafters. None on the pop-ups, which was weird, because usually they go quite good in here for pop-ups. But bites have dried up now, and it's silly staying around here. I'd like to have moved, but weekend anglers are here, so I've got no options. I'm just going to call it a day and get back home and get prepared for my next session.